Live from Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas, it's KSWU News.
Okay, here we go. Hello everyone and welcome to KSWU News. I'm Carly Willis.
And I'm Kara Potasio, filling in for Sarah Sewell.
The Washburn Student Government Association is taking action to put a Student Bill of Rights into place. Israel Sanchez reports on the steps the organization is taking to make it happen.
The Washburn Student Government Association is taking steps to implement a Student Bill of Rights. Dalton Hain, WSGA Service Director, also serves as chairman of the committee in charge of the bill. One particular item Hain wants students to know about is that of grade appeals.
It's listed in the faculty handbook, but it's not listed anywhere in the student handbook. That's something that we think students should know and understand the process for in case they have any issues with the professor.
While the WSGA committee has been looking to the universities as guides and inspiration, they want to make sure that the bill reflects Washburn's essence.
We have been discussing what we would like to put in our Bill of Rights, what other universities have put in, and just ways to make it reflect Washburn's campus as best as possible.
Blake Porter, newly elected student government president, wants to make sure the students are aware that their rights don't cease to exist as soon as they enter campus.
I think it's important for students to know that while they may be students at Washburn and while they may live in the residence halls, that certain rights are guaranteed to them. And what this Student Bill of Rights does is it ensures that students have access to those rights and that they are fully aware of those rights.
While Washburn does have a student handbook, it does not include a section about their rights. And without this, Hain believes that students are vulnerable to potential abuse.
I just think it's very important that students know their rights so that they're not abused.
The committee plans to include the Bill of Rights in the front pages of the student handbook. For KSWU News, I'm Israel Sanchez.
The committee is hard at work developing the Bill of Rights and expects for it to be in effect during fall 2016. Jurors in the Boston Marathon bombing trial have found Daksar Sarnev guilty of all 30 counts against him. 17 of those counts carry a possible penalty of death. The trial will now proceed to a penalty phase where the jury will determine if Sarnev is sentenced to death. Sarnev and his brother were accused of setting off 2 bombs near the finish line of the 2013 Boston Marathon. 3 people were killed in the blasts. An MIT campus police officer was gunned down by the Sarnev brothers 3 days after the bombings. The defense argued that Sarnev fell under the control of his brother, who was killed days after the terror attack.
A collaboration with different faith organizations, community nonprofits, and Washburn student organizations has brought to campus an event that intends to spark a revolution through music. Farai Harold has more on why students are getting together.
If you are looking for something to do between classes or on your lunch break this April, Soapbox Revolution might just be the thing for you. A combined effort between different faith organizations, student organizations, and several local nonprofits has brought to Washburn's campus an event every Wednesday on the south side of the Memorial Union. Soapbox Revolution is the brainchild of Reverend Joshua Longbottom of Central UCC and several Washburn students who were inspired by Turnaround Tuesday, an event that happened every 2 months leading up to the local state elections. Reverend Longbottom hopes to inspire social revolution on campus and in Topeka as a whole.
Make the spirit of liberation thick in this place, to ignite a flame of liberation, to make people be who they really are, to stand up for the issues, to learn how to stand up for the issues, and to celebrate all the good things that are going on. We hope to fill the world with hope as we change things for the better.
The 30-minute event features student and faculty speakers on campus and community organizations with similar values. There is also music from a funk band called the People's Band, whose lyrics tell stories about civil rights movements and encourage people to love one another. Students are also welcome to join in on the singing and dancing. Washburn student Janelle Gonzalez says she was moved by the speakers and music played at today's event.
Loved it. I love the music. I think putting messages into music is so much more impactful for everybody. It's great to hear all of the songs that these people have created.
Organizers of the event hope to make Soapbox Revolution an annual event, as one of the main goals is to bring together student organizations and connect them with outside resources. The next event is April 22nd, and the theme is peace. This is Farai Harold reporting for KSWU News.
Soapbox Revolution is held on the south side of the Memorial Union facing Mayberry Library. Coming up, we'll talk with two students who are glowing with anticipation about future events. Stay tuned.
No more. It's none of my business.
No more. I'm sure they'll work it out.
No more. It only happened once.
No more. He said he was sorry. No more. Why doesn't she just leave?
No more. Not my problem.
No more, but he has such a bright future.
No more. He didn't mean it.
No more bystanding. No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Don't let me throw it down. Don't let me throw it down. Get down. Don't let me throw it down. Don't let me throw it down. Get down.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
Hello, and welcome back to KSWU News. I am Carly Willis, and I am here with Olivia Marshall and Veronica Diaz with Cyclists at Washburn. Ladies, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
So, how did you become involved with Topeka Metro?
Well, this semester I started volunteering as an intern with them, so I've been there since January.
Wonderful. And what is it that they do for the community?
Well, their main goal is to provide safe and reliable public transportation. And they do a lot more than even I knew. But I've found out that they're the eyes and ears of the community. Their operators function in all kinds of weather. They report outages to Westar, potholes in the street. You know, they're out there all day, and so they see a lot of what goes on in the community. But they also provide, let's just say, the spring break family special every year. Families get to ride free all spring break to encourage more use of, the public transportation. But other than that, students ride free. Washburn students can use their membership or their ID card to ride for free always. So benefits like that.
Yeah, wonderful. And what is it that the Topeka Metro Bike Launch is? What all did that entail, and when is that?
So it's on April 15th. It starts at 11 a.m. and it'll be an open house style event where anyone who's around can come up, view the bikes, test ride the bikes, sign up for a membership, and we can answer any questions that they have about the program in general. And it's really exciting because Topeka is the first city in Kansas to have a bike share program like this.
And who is it that you guys are targeting to attend this event?
Anyone in the Washburn community, specifically students, since we know a lot of people may, come from far away and not have their own bike on campus. So, but really anyone in the community. This is a central location, Washburn, in Topeka.
So what can they expect at the event?
Okay, well, like I said, the 2 hours, 11 to 1, will just be open house, answer questions, sign up people. But at 1 will be the inaugural ride to the Washburn, or from Washburn to the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. And riders that are attending include Dr. Jared B. Farley riding one of the bikes. So if you sign up for a membership and you reserve a bike, you can ride with us, or bring your own bike for that matter. But we're going to all be riding a fleet of red bicycles to the library and back, and I think it's going to be really fun.
Wonderful. If you're just now joining us, I'm Carly Willis here with KSWU News with Olivia Marshall and Veronica Diaz with Cyclists at Washburn. So on the other hand, tell me about the WU Glow Ride that's coming up this month.
Well, the WU Glow Ride is actually something that the Cyclists at Washburn are putting together with the Topeka Metro Bikes. What we're doing is, for those that don't know what a glow ride is, it's essentially a ride at night that's being illuminated by the bikes that have a light on them, as well as glow sticks. And we'll start here on campus and ride all the way down to the Capitol, where they'll have free water bottles and Jimmy John's waiting for them, as well as some fun music and environment. And then we'll ride back part of the Shunga Trail back to campus.
And do students need to register, or what do they need to do to be involved in the Glow Ride?
Yes, in order to participate, all we're asking, there isn't a cost for it. All they have to do is apply for a membership at Topeka Metro Bikes, whether it's the hourly, monthly, or yearly membership, we don't care, but they do have to sign up. And then we do have a registration form. It's called WU Glow Ride, WU Glow Ride at eventbrite.com, okay, I believe. Okay. And so all they have to do is register there.
So tell me about what the purpose of the Glow Ride is.
And the purpose there is just for the campus to become more bike friendly and promote this program here that we have on campus now.
Okay, what are the organizations that will benefit from the events? Or is it mainly to promote awareness and get students more involved with Cyclists at Washburn?
It's just to make people more familiar with the bike program, but to hopefully encourage more people to ride their bikes, even if it's not, Topeka Metro Bikes. We just encourage people to get on their bikes, and Topeka Metro Bikes is just such an easy, fun way to do that. That's why we're pushing it.
Great. What else do we need to know about the events?
The 15th and the 28th, two awesome bike events. Yep. Make sure to get to topekametrobikes.org, topekametrobikes.org. That's where you can sign up for your membership. There's a Social Bicycles app you can get on your phone. Look for what bikes are available where. They track your calories, miles, how much gas you've saved, how much carbon emission you've saved. So, for anybody trying to do something a little more green, fun, fit, healthy, definitely go to topekametrobikes.org.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. And if you didn't catch that, that's topekametrobikes.org. We'll be back after this.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to KSWU News. Thanks for joining us today. It takes a lot of work and dedication to make it into the Hall of Fame. Israel Sanchez has more on how far one man's talent has taken him.
Washburn can now add a Hall of Fame musician to the list of his accomplished professors. Dr. Craig Trennan was one of 2015 inductees into the Kansas Music Hall of Fame.
And so I questioned the text, and so I texted him back and said, is this true? Because I said I couldn't quite believe that I was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and so it took me a couple days to finally figure it all out.
The induction ceremony was held at Liberty Hall in downtown Lawrence, where Dr. Trannon got to share the stage with some of his longtime friends.
It's a really neat deal. It's a really neat feeling to be recognized for your music and your longevity and teaching and all this other stuff and performing. So yeah, it was quite an honor.
Dr. Trannon spent 8 years in the Air Force, where he played lead alto in the jazz band, but he also became one of the youngest directors of the band. After the military, he eventually joined Washburn in 2005, where he now serves as the Director of Jazz Studies and applies saxophone. He credits his middle school and high school instructors as strong influences in his career as a musician. Here at Washburn, he hopes to inspire the next generation of Hall of Famers.
So it's up to the kids. There's a bunch of them that could do this and be successful, but it all comes down to hard work and how much you're willing to sacrifice to do it. So
Dr. Trannon has some final words of advice for aspiring young musicians who want to follow in his footsteps.
If you love music, it's a great gig, but you gotta love it.
For KSWU News, I'm Israel Sanchez.
Trennan is hard at work preparing his class for an upcoming jazz festival. Well, C-SPAN City Tour is in Topeka this week, filming the literary life and history of Topeka. They plan to visit the Brown versus Board of Education Park and meet with historians to talk about the history of the court case. Members of C-SPAN talk to students, teachers, elected officials, and organizations to talk about their mission in covering public affairs programming and what the local connections are to national politics. The series will air May 2nd and 3rd.
The Mulvane Art Museum has presented 8 shows since school began in August. Brian Cervantes goes behind the scenes to show us the setup process for each show.
Months before a show at the Mulvane Museum sees an audience, the artwork is selected and prepared for a new show, which are about every 5 weeks. The student art show opened this past Friday, and exhibition proprietor Michael D. Allen was responsible for setting up the display.
I think a lot of it is actually arranging the exhibition. That's really fun and challenging at the same time. The favorite part would probably getting to see all this different artwork.
168 works of art were submitted by Washburn students. A team at the museum makes the final decisions, and 53 works were selected into the show. The artwork is already framed because it's on loan from the students. Although some shows have Allen measuring and framing the selected artworks for display, one of the Mulvane student workers who works the front desk likes seeing the different shows.
My favorite exhibition so far was The Lovely Bones by Wayne Hilton.
Another art show currently going on upstairs in the Mulvane Museum is the exhibition of paintings by Chicana artists. It comes from a personal collection of Cheech Marin from the comedy duo Cheech and Chong. The Mulvane Art Museum takes pride in putting on these shows for the Washburn and Topeka community to enjoy. I'm Brian Cervantes, reporting for KSWU News.
There will be a conversation with Cheech Marin on May 7th at 6:30 p.m. in the Andrew J. and Georgia Neats Gray Theater. Coming up, a Washburn professional helps students plan for the future. We'll be back after this.
All the preparation, the training, it all comes down to this.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
We have a job to do out here today.
Some people think it's about muscle, but it's really about heart. A lot of heart.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
Is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to KSWU News. I'm Kara Potasio here with Jenny Cornelius. She is the Director of Academic Advising. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure,
I
thanks
really
for having me.
appreciate that. So, your job is to help students with academic advising, correct?
Correct.
Now, what inspired you to do this job?
I was very inspired. So I'm actually a Washburn graduate. So I came back to college as a very non-traditional student and had a fabulous academic advisor who really helped show me the ropes and get me through a program that fit me well. So I really thought, wow, this is a great job. I think I can do this also. So that's how I ended up as an academic advisor.
Okay. And so you help students do this. It's that time right now. Academic advising is going on right now. Can you tell us a little bit about the process here at Washburn?
Sure. So I just want to remind you that academic advising really is an all-around, all-year job. Students have academic issues at all times. We're in an enrollment process right now, so we're actually helping students to pick some classes. So the process here, I think, is pretty good. Students actually have to see an advisor to be able to enroll. We have students who come and say, I just need a PIN. We know they actually need a lot more than just a PIN number. We have a lot of really great classes here, but a random selection doesn't necessarily move you toward a degree. So that's really where the advising part comes in.
Okay, so you need a 6-digit PIN to do this. Yep. And so how do students get this PIN number?
Right. So in our office, we're a resource mostly for exploratory students. Once a student declares a major, they get an advisor in their department, so that would probably be a faculty person. So we help those students, first-year students and the students who haven't yet declared a major. You know what, I forgot your original question.
Oh, well, I mean, I wanted to ask you
the process.
Yeah.
So yes, so a student comes in, sits, and we go over degree audits. We look at programs they might be interested in. And then the final step would be to assign a registration number then, which allows them to enroll. It's kind of like a ticket to enroll.
Yeah. Okay. And students, this is unique to Washburn. We are one of the universities that does this. How does this compare to other universities?
We're not exactly unique. Most universities will require that a student meet in some way with an advisor. We prefer to have that a face-to-face. A lot of universities might do it by email or even sometimes in group advising, but Washburn is small enough that we can give that one-on-one attention.
Okay, and students are lucky because they can meet with both their assigned advisor or they could just come to the advising office, correct?
Okay, so not exactly correct. Like I said earlier, our office has a staff of 5. So we're the advisors mostly for the students who have not yet declared a major. So once a student declares their major, they get a faculty advisor. Now, we're also a resource, so rarely would we turn a student away, but for the most part, we're visiting with students who have not yet declared majors.
All right. Well, if you're joining us here on KSWU News, I'm joined with Jeannie Cornelius. She's the Director of Academic Advising, and so far she's been touching on how the process works here at Washburn and things like that. So, how has this job affected you personally?
It's a great job. I've been an academic advisor here for 9 years. One of the things I like the best is that no 2 days are the same, just like no 2 students are the same. So a lot of flexibility in what you're talking about, just something new every day. I really like college students, especially first-year students. So I'm pretty fond of comparing them to kindergartners in big bodies. So, the process of college is just starting over again.
Okay. And what do you say to students who are struggling to figure out what classes to enroll in?
Yeah, so the first thing is don't let somebody else pick your classes for you. It's kind of hard to pick a class based on a title. So do some investigation, go to the catalog, see what this description is for the class. Talk to other students, talk to the teachers, find out a little bit more about a class. So trying to match up your strengths with what the class might be about.
Okay. Is there any advice that you can give on certain classes and knowing, oh, this would fit a student really well?
So when we talk about general education classes, and all students need some general education, there are differences between humanities and sciences and social science. So taking all of the humanities in one semester, it's too much of the same thing. Same way with the sciences. You don't want to be stuck taking all sciences in one semester. It'd probably be a little too hard anyway. So a little mix and match in the categories goes a long way to helping balance the difficulty level in your courses.
Okay. And what is the number one thing students ask you about when it comes to academic advising?
Wow, I don't know if there's one. First year students, it's mostly about time management, how to take better notes, learning that cramming probably isn't that great of an idea. So a lot of things to talk about with students.
Well, thank you so much, Jeannie. I really appreciate your time. And
you're welcome.
Thank you so much for giving us some insight on this. Sure. Really appreciate it. Coming up, we will talk about sports with Trevin Edelman. Stay tuned.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
Appreciate it.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
Odds of becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us
to change the odds for our generation.
For the ones we love.
For our future.
If you don't like the odds,
stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Welcome back to KSWU News. I'm Trevin Edelman. A decision could come in the next few days on whether or not Minnesota Vikings star running back Adrian Peterson will be reinstated. Peterson met with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and a team of lawyers on April 7th in New York. There's a lot of speculation that if Peterson is reinstated, whether or not he will continue to play for the Vikings. Peterson was placed on the commissioner's exempt list last year after he was indicted for abusing his son. Well, in other NFL news, it's finally official. The NFL has hired its first full-time female official. The NFL announced on Wednesday that come this season, Sarah Thomas will be overseeing games. There were many rumors and reports last week of the hiring, but the league made it official today. Thomas started working for college football in Conference USA in 2007 and became the first woman to officiate a bowl game in 2009. She has also been doing some sideline work for the Browns, Saints, and Colts, all of those in the NFL. And finally, the Kansas City Royals continue its series against the Chicago White Sox at Kauffman Stadium tonight at 7:10. The Royals won their home opener against the White Sox 10-1 on Monday. Yordano Ventura threw 6+ strong innings from the mound, and Alex Rios delivered a 3-run homer to cap a 5-run 7th inning as the Royals eased past the White Sox. It is student night tonight, and anyone 14 and older with a school ID can purchase tickets for only $8. So for only $8 in a student ID, it's a great time to get out to the K and enjoy some championship-style baseball.
Yeah, hopefully the weather will hold up, and Carly Willis, actually, she just ran out of here so she could catch the game. So
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Wish I could go, but plan on getting to one soon, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think I'm going to one next month. So
Sounds good.
So Trevin, do you like ice cream?
I love ice cream. Had some DQ yesterday, actually.
Well, speaking of DQ, you can win a $15 Dairy Queen gift card if you go to Facebook and you check out our Facebook contest there. All you have to do is share one of our episodes and comment on why you liked it. So pretty easy chance to win a $15 gift card if you ask me.
Yeah, sounds good. I'd take a $15 gift card. Anything with food. I mean, come on.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on KSWU News, and we'll see you next week.